What got you interested in the fire department?
I lived in a little trailer park down south here, Fort Myers, in 1977. Iona McGregor Fire Department built their second fire station literally about 80 yards from my house, and I hung around there, and the rest is history.
What are your greatest accomplishments?
Greatest accomplishments are, one, I graduated from high school. I came from a neighborhood where only maybe 3 people graduated from high school, and I went on to get 4 college degrees. I got an AS, an AAS, a BAS, and a master's degree. That would be my greatest accomplishment, and that nobody got seriously injured or killed under my watch.
That's got to weigh heavy as a chief, I'm sure, making sure.
That's in the back of your mind. How does everybody go home?
Yeah. Next question here. What incidents leave a mark in your memory?
Anything with kids or children. I can remember adults and older people. You kind of remember the fatalities and stuff that happens, but with kids, I remember exactly where it was at, exactly what they were wearing, what color it was, and it's just burned into your memory, exactly what they looked like and what position.
Yeah.
So it sticks with you.
What do you regret as a firefighter?
That I didn't take my craft as a firefighter to the level I should have. Today's standard, when I was a firefighter from 85 to 1990, I would be categorized as way below average. I just didn't take the craft and the experience and the knowledge and do the things that we do today. Now, I did do that when I become a driver. I took that to the next level. I learned from that, and the same thing with lieutenant and battalion chief.
What do you regret as a battalion chief?
I had to do a paper for one of my bachelor classes, and it was on a book from an Asian fellow named Sun Tzu, and it's called Choose Your Battles. Looking back, that class should have been part of an associate's program because it teaches you choose your battles. I chose some battles I should not have chosen. Looking back now, if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have done the same battles I did because I saw how it hurt somebody's pride or their motivation while I was trying to look at the big picture of production and people, an overriding concern for production, and I would just choose my battles differently this go around.
If you could distill maybe a lot of the stuff that you've learned over 36 years into a motto, what do you think your motto would be?
Lead by example. Don't ask someone to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. Lead by example.
In your career, what do you think are some of the more challenging things in the fire service, in your career in particular?
As you move up the ladder, the level of responsibility increases, and so do usually the level of people you deal with. And it was challenging to deal with the different personalities. You can't apply the same level of discipline or the same level of anything to everybody across the board because everybody is different. Everybody processes it different. Everyone has a different personality, and you have to adapt. There's no one rule, hard, fast rule that you can apply when you're dealing with 26 different people, which is what I had under me, including the firefighters, engineers, and lieutenants.
What advice would you give to yourself starting your career? If you could give 19-year-old Barry Ashman, firefighter Barry Ashman, some advice, what do you think you would tell yourself?
Well, I would want him to stay true to his values. Go to school much earlier. I didn't get my first degree until 2001, and I was hired full-time in 1985. You have life and growing and working 2 jobs and family. I waited a long time, and education was free. Go to school, we'll pay for it. And I just had different things I wanted to do. I would want to do it earlier, give Barry advice. Go to school early and often, especially if they're paying for it. From 2001 to 2013, I obtained 4 college degrees, only because I waited too long. Like, if you're going to promote now, you got to have these. And I just sat and waited, and I said to myself, should have gone to school earlier.
think I need to take your advice.
It's good advice because I lived it and I went, why did I wait this long?
Yeah.
And it was free
Yeah.
with grants and the educational programs that we have and the pro ed.
I think some of the only classes I've taken so far, one of them was from you, hydraulics or apparatus, whichever one it was. That's it. That's like all I've taken. It's pretty sad. I should probably take your advice.
You'll get there. Everyone will get there in their time.
I should give myself some options and start. So I think I'll take your advice. Good advice. What do you want people to remember about you? If there's the plaque on the wall with a picture of you, what would you like to have inscribed underneath that people would remember?
That I generally cared, whether it was a disciplinary issue or even something as simple as moving a person from station to station or shift to shift, that I generally cared about all the members that were under me and worked for us and made us excel and made us the team, that I generally cared. I did your job, so I know I may have not done it to the level that you have, and I didn't forget where I came from.
So what was your favorite part about the last 13 years as a battalion chief?
My favorite part was when we would have an incident or a call, watching the crews work. And I've used this analogy before. All right, the battalion chief is like the quarterback of the football team. He decides on the play that comes from a policy or procedure. You put it into effect. It's like handing the ball off to the running back. And as the quarterback, you turn and look and you watch the field, the players, the firemen do their thing, and you watch the running back and they just go. That was the best part, is watching all the time, training, and effort that the crew put in. It's go time when the bell goes off. And to watch them work and be masters of their craft, watching the crew shine, because I know I'm part of that. Yep, they crafted their craft on their own, they perfected it, but to watch them do it was just a joy. Watch them put the fire out or win the battle or get that victim, make that grab. That's the best feeling for me as a battalion chief, is watching it all come together.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your years of service.
Thank you.
District.